Arjuna, you found that even if they can get assistance in the three countries that we talked about, in many cases, they weren't just looking for handouts.
That's very true, John. And I think here the name of the report, The Digital Hustle, the deliberate choice of the word hustle is very telling. These are people, as I said, again, taking an emerging markets perspective and that level of informality. These are people who've been forced to hustle to make ends meet. They've been part of an informal workforce, often sort of creating a patchwork of jobs and living close to the edge, right? So while these gig platforms brought some stability to their lives, as discussed, the pandemic, in a way, has surfaced that inherent entrepreneurialism, right? That hustle mentality all over again. Um, a staggering 61% of Indonesians that we surveyed and 45% of Brazilians have found new and additional work. We're all familiar, particularly in the US where I live, right? The pivot from ride hailing to delivery, right? The Uber driver who's now an Uber Eats delivery person. But what we're seeing is beyond that. It's the ride hailing driver who's now a one person mobile catering business, or a one person grocery store on the move, right? That kind of ability to be entrepreneurial, to figure out where the seams in the economy are and find another way to supplement your income is quite remarkable. Now, mind you, this is not everyone. Not everyone has a soft landing, as we played in the video and highlighted in the report. People are struggling to make ends meet. People are cutting consumption. It's really heartbreaking to read stories of people cutting back on food, which is so essential. But the takeaway I think I'd like to leave people with is that there's remarkable resilience and optimism. And these adverse times, the pandemic has brought that back up to the surface. In the short term, everybody's worried about how to keep themselves and their families safe and healthy while continuing to earn a living, right? But when we asked folks how they think about their financial futures, the number one financial goal across all the countries we surveyed was to save for the future, to have that financial cushion, to build that financial cushion to allow their children to dream big, right? And for them to be able to back those big dreams. They keep coming back to that. So there's always this sense of looking forward, looking to the next generation, looking to the future to see how they can build a better future for themselves and their children. And that resilience and that sort of underlying sense of hope and optimism in the future is really remarkable and something worth focusing on.